Ulwaruk. A royal invitation. Ulwaruk is eager to hear how you've been getting on. It is a pleasure as always, Soren. Have you been able to relax lately? Yep. Wonderful. As busy as you've been, with the rite of succession among other things, you deserve an opportunity to experience Tuliolal at a more leisurely pace. Sampling the tacos at Zabaliev Tai is one such way to do so. They're made the traditional way and laden with fillings, and are absolutely sublime. If you have an empty stomach, the owner Brukevu will look after you. Wait, what's this? Have you come here to share heroic yarn with me, Soren? Please do go on. You have my rapt attention. Ah. So what have you brought for me today? The trials and tribulations of Queen Sphene, who was confronted with a many difficult decision as she sought to protect the citizens of her nation, Alexandria. In that realm, people regard souls as merely as a resource, and when they die, the aether of their memories is used to create the endless. Simulacra of the departed that can only be sustained with life force harvested from the living. Being so very different from what we know, such a way of life is difficult for us to accept. Indeed, it seemed only inevitable that you should come into conflict with Sphene. She herself was not among the living, but an entity brought forth to fulfill a certain objective, and therein, I believe, lay the root of this tale's tragedy. Recreated from the noblest of souls though she was helpless to defy the purpose to which she had been bound, protecting the endless no matter the cost. Thus did she continue on her destructive path, though she knew it led only to a dead end. A question, if you may, my friend. Deep in your heart, do you believe that the Sphene whom you met was alive? I'm not sure. I see. Though her existence differed much from the living, precisely what does it mean to be alive is no easy thing to define. I thank you for your honest answer. I shall take it to heart. For my part, whether or not she was possessed called Sphene, who cared deeply for her people, who heard the voices of her people, felt as they did, and thought only for their welfare. That is why, at battle's end, she returned as a gentle soul you knew. But here, a thought fills me with dread. What if a soul failed to return, and the fearsome entity she had become continued its relentless onslaught? Might it have succeeded in its objective, and plundered life force from other realities at the cost of untold destruction? Of such a possibility I sing, that we might give thanks for the path we were mercifully spared. By golden light, two rulers walked, their paths in conflict lying. One bound to slay, one born to save, they're forged ahead untiring. The memories of departed days endure as fate and fetters. For keepers staunch, a blessed warmth, oblivion for the breakers. Unfortunately, I'm gonna this. Or I feel I have to. Okay, so what were we doing? Hey, Brukevu. Well, if it isn't Soren. Alone today, are you? I see. If you have a hankering for tacos, then they're on the house. Consider it a token of gratitude for your help tracking down those treasures. Go ahead and find the table. I'll bring you your meal as soon as it's ready. Something tells me we're not going to be able to enjoy the tacos. Okay, my mic unplugged. Sorry. You still love tacos, I hope. You ate so many when you turned 5. You could barely move afterwards. Remember that? Hmm? No, not really. That was 30 years ago for me. Right, sorry. It's still strange for me too. Just the other day you were a little boy clinging to your mother's skirt as you set off for Yasulani. And now you're a man grown with a face full of hair. Even so, I knew you were my son the instant I saw you. We're still family, and you can always rely on me. Relying. Feels like the only thing I'm doing right now. On you and everyone else. Can't even start a fire without assistance at my new job. Back in Alexandria, we had Electrope. If I needed fire, all I had to do was press a button. Everything was at our fingertips. But here I'm helpless. A culinarian who can't even light the stove. The way others in the kitchen stared at me. Gods, I've never felt so embarrassed. I'm sorry to hear that. I'd been told the tales, but it seems life really is different within the dome. My wife and children. I was thinking of having them join me once things had settled, but at this rate... I say you send for them. If they're your family, then they're mine too. I'll do whatever's necessary to make it work. Oh no. I didn't mean to overhear, but it seems you're having trouble readjusting to life in Tuliolal. Val Wuklamat? To aid folk like yourself, we've established a support group at the Ring of Reflection. There you can learn the skills you need to live outside the dome. It isn't easy being back, I know, but I'm hopeful that they can make things easier. That's exactly what I need. I'll definitely seek this group out, and I'll bring my family with me. Thank you. Oh, look who it is. I was just about to go and find you, Soren. You don't mind the company, I hope. I could use a bite to eat myself. Let me enjoy my tacos in peace. The tacos here never disappoint. So, what have you been up to lately? I've been making a name for myself in the Arcadian. You're fighting in the arena in Alexandria? By facing off against such tough opponents, I'd wager you've honed your skills even further. As for myself, I've been kept busy with duties at the palace, but whenever I find a moment, I'd like to walk the streets and talk to the people. That way, I can better understand the problems they have and share them with Kona to figure out solutions. I was on one such walk just now, and as I mentioned, I was hoping to find you. Kona and I have something we want to discuss with you. As Dawn's servants, you have time to come to the palace. Great! I'll go on ahead. Please come and join us whenever you're finished here. Uh-huh. Alright, I guess we better hurry up. Palais. Only cool people go on the left. It seems Kona's gone somewhere. Sorry. Master Soren, it is always an honor. Val Kona has stepped away to attend to a pressing matter, but he should join you within and before long. Enter the Sunperch. Oh, I thought it was going to be a voice. Oh, you're all here too? Val Kona summoned us. Though, if truth be told, Alphino and I have been seeing him quite regularly of late. He asked us to share our knowledge of Hunnish culture, you see, in hopes of further strengthening your alliance. We were, of course, happy to oblige him. Kryle and I were likewise summoned. Otherwise, we've been carrying on with our work, compiling information on the Golden City. My grandfather embarked on his investigation 20 years ago. With our report, we shall finish what he started. Lest you wonder, Thancred and Urianger have left to resume their tour of Tural. Ishtola, meanwhile, is back researching cross-drift travel. She was here just a few days ago to get Kona's permission to investigate living memory. By the way, she mentioned wanting to take a look at the key in your keeping at some point. If the look she had in her eyes was any indication, I suggest you brace yourself for when she comes calling. You're like to be stuck with her for a while. As for Estinian, we know neither where he is nor what he's doing. Some things never change. My apologies for the delay. Think nothing of it. We took advantage of the time to catch up. So, what can we do for you? Hopefully present company is enough for whatever it is you need. Adjusts glasses. The matter for which I have summoned you pertains to Alexandria. A state funeral will soon be held in Solution 9 to mourn the passing of Queen Sphene. King Gululja and his administration have invited us to attend. While certain issues remain unresolved between our nations, such as the treatment of Yassulani, I see no reason not to attend. Generations, the Alexandrians lived without even the awareness of death. I wouldn't have expected them to have funeral rites still. A Apparently, the members of Oblivion unearthed records of ceremonies that were conducted in the Alexandria of old. It was they who put forth the proposal that the Queen be thus honored. Leave it to that lot to think of such things. The people of Alexandria no longer forget the departed. They are being confronted with the idea of death for the first time. I suspect our friends wanted us to do something for them. Though Sphene was but a simulacrum, she was nonetheless a pillar for her people. The pain of her passing must run deep. Indeed. A funeral will give Alexandrians the chance to come together to express their grief, that they might overcome it. I wasn't sure at first, but I've decided to go. Not only to be there for Golulja, but to put this chapter behind us. That I requested your presence was none other than see if you wish to attend the funeral. You knew Sphene as well, after all. I think I should go too. Because you consider yourself responsible for her demise, I take it. But that's not a burden for you to bear alone. Here's my idea. As vow, I'll attend the funeral as a representative of Tuliolal. Meanwhile, you can go in a personal capacity and watch over the people as they mourn. I feel the rest of us should go too. Regardless of the reason, the fact remains that we deprived Alexandria of a beloved ruler. It's only right that we remember who Sphene was, to her people and to others, so let us stand with you. Then it's decided. Let's head to Solution 9 and look for Golulja in the back room. Crossroads. Damn. In the back room, so they want me to go... Solution 9. Is this the entrance? Yep, there we go. You head into the back rooms. Of course I'm not. Hello, King. Ah, you came for the funeral. Of course. I'm the only one who will officially take part, though. The others will watch over the proceedings. So, how have you been? It's been a while since my last visit. I'm good. Shayla's always teaching me new things. Recently, I've learned about Everkeep systems and the mechanical soldiers. It's knowledge I'll need to use my authority properly. Studious as always, I see. By way of a treat, I brought you gâteau au chocolat. It's a kind of cake. I think you'll like it. Thank you, Lamati. And thank you for coming. I've never been to a funeral before, so I feel less nervous having you here. Out of curiosity, what's the custom in Alexandria? In our world, it's common to offer flowers to the departed. It's much the same here according to the records. Flowers will be distributed to all attendees. Considering that all the worlds used to be one, the practice of offering flowers may as well share the same ancient origin. Fascinating, wouldn't you say? Oh. Aqua pizza. Driftwood catfish pie. I'll just take the gold. Gulul Jaja has been added to the codex. Alexandria mourns. Gululja wishes to go and collect his flower for the funeral. The flowers are being handed out at Praxis Park. I'm thinking of heading over there now. We'll join you. There's a man I would like to speak with, Gosan. He was apparently Sven's aide, and the one who sent us the invitation. Come on, let's go. Praxis Park, where was that? Oh. Gee, is that the meeting spot? Why, you're... I'm Valwu Klamat of Tuliola. Thank you for extending us an invitation to Queen Sven's funeral. We are honored truly. I'd seen you before from a distance, but never had the pleasure. I'm Gosan, former chief aide to the Queen. Since her passing, I have been responsible for administering affairs of state. Can we get our flowers here? Yes, your majesty. The flowers are being handed out at the counter yonder, alongside the regulators. What? We need to wear regulators for the funeral? Ah, rest assured they are not a requirement. We are aware your people do not use them. You see, the people in Alexandria of old wore tokens of mourning upon their persons when attending funerals. As such, the tokens were black. It was suggested that we might wear regulators painted the same color. We've yet to produce enough for everyone, but we're distributing them as we are able. I see. Yet, regulator or no, the important thing is that we remember Queen Sven. Remember her and her kindness as you make an offering of your flower. I will. The proceedings will soon begin in this plaza. Please take your place once you have your flower. Okay, this I feel I should.
Although we are gathered here for the same reason, we hail from different lands. Some were born and raised in the Alexandria of old, while others came to us from Tuliolal. It was from this union of diverse peoples that a new Alexandria was born. The only home that our younger generation knows. How did we overcome the barriers between us? What moved us to join hands in common purpose beneath crackling skies? You know the answer. We survived. We thrived because Queen Sphene brought us together. Inspired and encouraged by her boundless kindness, we strove to be better, for ourselves as well as those around us. And in Her Majesty's absence, there is a sadness beyond words. Yet we must. We will remember her. Remember all the good that she has done for us. So let us pray, as the people of the Old Kingdom once did, for the peaceful repose of the departed. And let us keep our beloved Queen forever in our hearts, that her memory might guide us unto the morrow. Would that I could find solace in my own words.
Was Queen Sphene taken to the cloud?
She must have been. To still remember her is strange, isn't it, darling?
I miss her. She would always cheer me up when I was down. But even though I remember her, I'll never see her again. That doesn't make sense.
It seems that's what it means to die, I'm afraid.
But what will happen to us? Are we just going to be sad forever?
What will happen indeed? Everything that we have, we owe to Queen Sphene. How are we to go on without her?
I still remember Her Majesty so clearly. If only I didn't, I might feel better about the future of our realm.
Perhaps we should also consider moving to Tuliolo. The journey won't be easy, but it'd be better than staying here in uncertainty.
In times like these, I take comfort in the beliefs of a Turali people called the Yokui. To them, death isn't the end. So long as we're remembered, we never truly die. It could be the same for Queen Sphene, you know? If you keep her alive in your hearts, she'll always be with you.
But we still won't be able to see her, right? I don't want to think about that. I wish I could just forget instead of having to feel like this.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to impose. Please, mourn your queen however you see fit. As expected, they struggle to come to terms with their loss. I hope they can find a way to move forward.
It's not only grief that weighs on them, but worry for the future. Bereft of their queen, how will they proceed?
True. But with that at least, we're not powerless to help. What is it, Guloja?
I was wondering, is it better to remember or forget someone when they're dead? I remember my father, and every time I think of him, it hurts. It's the same with Queen Sphene. Knowing that she's gone makes me feel sad. But it's different with my mother. I never knew her, so I don't feel as bad. I want to remember my father, but maybe I'd be better off forgetting him.
Guloja.
To be fair, he
Why
was a
don't we
prick.
continue this somewhere else.
Yeah, but that is the thing with death. Hey, Gululja, do you really know nothing at all about your mother? Cheo searched the system for information on residents, but the only Mamulja she found listed were my father and me. Even if she died and was erased from people's memories, she should have been there, but she wasn't. Well, that means you're here means she was here too, inside the dome. There can't be any other way about it. Do you want to know your mother? I think so. Even if it makes me feel sad, I want to know her. I want to try looking again, and if I don't find anything this time, I'll give up. I see. Well, if that's what you want. Then I'll help you. I'd like to help as well, and I believe I speak for the others too. But I can't bother you with this. You already came for the funeral. We came here not only for the funeral, but to see whether all was well in Alexandria. We're not about to leave just yet. Besides, in seeking to learn about your mother, we're bound to learn about your father as well. By retracing the steps of this man who kept his own council, we may gain knowledge that we can serve the people of Alexandria. Alright. Thank you, everyone. Alright. In search of the past. Ooh, is this a dungeon? Rahatia has an idea on how you proceed with your investigation. Assuming neither memories nor records of Gululja's mother remain, we must cast as wide as net as possible. I suggest that you split into groups. Soren, if you can make inquiries about outside the outskirts, the rest of us will do the same in Solution 9. Why do I have to go out in the dangerous area? Middle-aged Tonawata. Sorry, but I never heard of a Mamulja woman living in these parts, much less the one connected to Zoralja. You might have better luck talking to people over a Tawatan settlement to the north of Everkeep, a place called Ueyawata. The resilient son won their loyalty when he saved them some crisis or another, or so the story goes. If I remember correctly, their chief's name was Kaniloka. Your exchange talked to you about Zoralja's devoted. Alright, where is another? You're looking for a Mamulja woman? Oh, Gululja's mother. I can't help you there, I'm afraid. I know little about Zoralja, and then only what my father told me. He said that before the dome cut us off from the outside world, a Tural Vijral had appeared and was terrorizing the region. In response, Zoralja assembled a party of warriors, and with them confronted and felled the beast. It was interesting to hear the king's feats in the past. Tural Vijral, huh? Let me get back my Rathalos. Chatty Shatona. A Mamulja woman, huh? Their people have never been a common sight around here. Why, the last time I saw one would have been before the dome came down over our heads. She was among an entourage of Landsguard that was dispatched here. I assume they all returned to Tuliola after the mission. But if any remained, I suppose they could have been trapped in here with the rest of us. Oh. Yep. Let's go into the back rooms. Hey, Shale. Ululja has told me all. We previously tried to track down records of his mother, but came up empty-handed. With everyone's help, hopefully we can get somewhere this time. Notes of a Mamulja woman. Notes concerning a Mamulja woman who belonged to the Landsguard. Notes concerning a settlement located in Yawata, whose people are said to be fiercely loyal to their king. Notes concerning a battle between Zeralja and a mighty beast which occurred in Yasulani. Ah, so you spoke with quite a few different people as well. Let's combine all our findings and see what conclusions we might draw. So, Zeralja brought a retinue of Landsguard to Yasulani, among whom was a female Mamulja. His mission was to rid the region of a Turel Vidral, and I believe it's safe to say that there was the crisis in Yawata as he resolved. If some of his troops stuck around for a time, perhaps to assist villagers with recovery efforts, then they could have indeed gotten trapped in the dome. We also heard stories about the settlement in Yawata. People lived there until nearly a decade ago, and Zeralja made regular visits. If he required secrecy, a location home to his most loyal followers would be ideal, and if this Mamulja woman had remained there, they would have had occasion to come into contact. I see. But what could Zeralja have been doing in that village? I think we can answer that question. In order to retrace Zeralja's steps, Ra and I spoke with a researcher who worked at Origenics. He said that, approximately 20 years ago, a number of his colleagues were transferred to a research facility outside Everkeep, per the King's direct order. This is the first I've heard of such a facility. Only Vanguard was to believe to have been under the King's jurisdiction. It was apparently being used to develop a new kind of weapon, but I'm afraid that's all we could learn. It's plenty to go on. Even if the work there was classified, any materials and equipment needed would have been manufactured within Everkeep. So, if we look into transportation records... There it is. The routes are full of detours and attempts at obfuscation? What the fuck? But large deliveries were being made to Yawata, far too large for a mere village. There hasn't been any activity for years, though. It's likely the facility has been decommissioned. Do you think that's where my mother was? We can't say for certain just yet, but I reckon there's a good chance. This is amazing! Even though no one remembers her, you managed to figure all this out. Each piece of the puzzle may reveal little on its own, but when we put several together, a picture begins to form. And even should memories fade, footprints remain onto the mark of the path of those who walked before. A lesson I learned in another life. So we'll be investigating this secret facility in Ueyawata then. And this time, I want you to come along, Gululja. Oh my god. Ueyawata is on the other side of the lake. To get there, you'll need to take a hover car to go from the Drift Downs. Alright, thank you, Shale. Okay, Drift Downs. So, the hover cargo will take us across the lake. I've never been over there before. It's still inside the dome, so don't expect it to be too different from here. We'll likely encounter dangerous beasts, so the rest of us will go first. You follow when it's safe to do so, alright? Alright, be careful everyone. Ueyawata Field Station now accessible. Ooh, dungeon time. I think in this case I'll just run it with NPCs.
Let's give it our all.
Let's get to it.
Let's give it our all. I won't let you down. I won't let you down.
Can I not?
Let's get to it.
Oh, there we go. Ueyawata Field Station. My father must have come here for a reason. Ow, why did this actually hurt? Oh, even the bats are effective with Electro.
Hold still. Hold still. Back off. There. Back off.
Apologies if I'm not saying much. I've been trying to listen to the soundtrack. Very ominous. And then Gululja on the back. Hey, Delta. Oop, first boss. Lindblom Zagnal. Pretty good so far. The hell do you even do? Do you start off with a raid wide as usual? Yep. Right now, just going through the MSQ, and then, Gore? What is this? Oh, I see. Ooh. I'm assuming stay away from that. Oh my god, that's a huge radius. Okay, that wasn't so bad. Wow. Let's see. While His Majesty Zoraljo is not the first to conceive of transferring a beast's soul into a person's body, safety and ethical concerns have ensured no earnest attempts have been made to date. Yet our king believes that there is no greater evil than to hinder the potential of man, and so he has ordered us to make this conception a reality. It would bolster our military might and break through into the outside world. If our research will further this ambition, then perhaps it is worth pursuing. Nope. Ugh! Dude, that is so terrifying!
Back off!
God, I actually have goosebumps. What were they doing here? Our bodies are fragile vessels. Although the infusion of another person's soul confers strength and vitality, the soul of a beast yields mixed results. Even when stripped of memories, a feral soul can induce psychological instability in the subject. I suspect this is because primal instincts remain, and while a certain amount of bestial ferocity is expected, I dare say welcomed, too many such souls can lead to physical mutations. For now, our objective shall be to determine the threshold beyond which a body is at risk of uncontrolled mutation. What? Ah! Oh, fuck! God, that is so unsettling. Oh, hi. Giant course. Is that what it's supposed to be called, or did they just misspell corpse? The rate of transfiguration may be dictated by the potency of the soul consumed. We've experimented with fiends of great power, but mutations were observed after the infusion of merely a single soul. No better was this phenomenon illustrated with poor Atticus. His body was altered irreparably, and he lost all capacity for rational thought. While the primary objective of this research was to utilize the soul of a Tural Vidral, I struggle to see a path forward. An alternative approach must be considered. Can I go in these? Oh my god. Station Spectre.
You underestimate me.
So I missed on a stream Bungie did today, but I saw they announced. Huh. That's a odd collab. If the source of our failures thus far has been the inability of our bodies to contain feral souls, what if we were to reverse the process? By purging a beast of its memories and infusing it with a man's soul, one still possessed of its own memories, we stand gained to absolute control over a vessel of great power. My subordinate, who first proposed this brilliant hypothesis, shall have the honor of being the first to transcend our meager limits. I must prepare this soul for extraction at once. Overseer Kaniloka. You surrender your souls to King Zoralja. What the fuck? Oh my god, that hurt! Come forth, my dear souls. Oh, what fresh hell is this? I won't let precious samples escape. What the hell? Discard the flesh, extract the soul. Oh my god, this is... Dude! What the fuck? Even with mitigation, that takes more than half my health. Jesus, okay. No, the upcoming thing was much worse. Yeah, I know, but that one was much worse. If you don't get away from there in time, apparently you just die. Oh god, and players are targeted with random AoEs. That is still like 30% of my health gone. Would that we could tame the beast, but the seal is already... A seal? What did I pick up? What the hell? What kind of eldritch bullshit is this?
Now I'll show you. There.
You underestimate me.
I love it when they can be stunned.
I have you now.
No, I have you now. Ow. Kick. Sprightly foe bad. And then Loam Keep. Oh my god. Camera, please. Camera. Camera, please. There we go. Or maybe? What the frick? Oh, if I do the shield bash, it ends the sword combo. Okay. Damn. So yeah, looking at that is odd, because with the ghost shells being Ryu, Chun-Li, and Cammy. I mean, I wonder if there would be, if they would consider a Destiny like cameo. I mean, considering they've already done Nier. But then again, I think that was something they did. Like, I don't think it's... I haven't played near as much yet, but it's like... I don't remember if like they were developing it or they published it. Because then there was also like the regular like food collabs that they do. Butterfinger, Mountain Dew, KFC in Korea. Alright, what is this thing? Oh, that is terrifying. Teralvidra Lunipiati. Oh my god. The dust yoke. Yeah, something. That can possibly cleave most of the map. Jesus. Leoprine Loaf. Oh, what is this? Okay. Well then.
You cannot stop us.
What the f- Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Dude. Ow. Dude, Possessionals is gonna suck with this guy. Or does he not have any? Ow! Alright, there we go. Holy fuck. Treasure? Oh, there it is. Jacket of Striking. What does this look like? What does it Crow? Or Galulja? Still breathing, if only faintly. It's too close. It mustn't have been easy to imprison such a creature. A tyrant of Tural, truly a fitting description. I felt the earth shake all the way from the cliff. Bruh.
For all the talk of my brother felling this beast, he only imprisoned it, like Vali Armanda.
From what I could tell, they sought to transfer people's souls and memories into bestial vessels at that facility. The Tural Vidral explains the need for a remote location. It was doubtless their prime subject. Though I expect Zoralja did not foresee the opportunities it presented when he imprisoned the creature.
It's gonna be like one of the scientists, isn't it?
And so, in order to prevent the breakdown of the individual, I instead seek to transfer their soul into the body of the beast.
This would allow one to wield the power of a Tural Vidral.
In theory, our initial experiments will involve lesser creatures, but in time, I am confident we will be able to bring even the mightiest under our control.
And what becomes of those who offer their souls?
As they won't be able to return to their original forms, we must consider them lost. But the sacrifice will be worthwhile, for the army you stand to gain will far surpass any composed of mechanical soldiers.
I mean, yeah.
Very well. Recruit volunteers and begin at once.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I shall return to the observatory and see to the necessary preparations.
So, you've given him permission?
Teishalja, you will assist Kaniloka.
Teishalja,
As one of the Land's Guard's finest chirurgeons, your knowledge may be of use in his experiments. You will also watch him closely. In what you learn, you will report to me. You object to his project? Or are you incapable of performing this duty?
No, Your Majesty. Whether we shelter within the dome or expand beyond it, we require great power. But with no one to rely upon, we must take that power for ourselves, even if the means are questionable. I will do as you command. But if Kaniloka's work bears fruit, I wish to beg a boon.
A boon?
What do you desire?
Something that I had accepted I would never have in Tuliyollal. That I believed would forever be beyond me. That it was foolish to covet. But here and now, it is close. So very, very close.
Perform your duty to my satisfaction, and anything you desire is yours. That which I seek does not lie within this dome. Here, I cannot prove the miracle. But if what you seek is at hand, then you may claim it, for it has no value to me.
Ishelja.
Are you all right?
Teishelja. Could she be my mother?
Like the people in the outskirts said, few Mamulja lived in the Yasulani. I can't imagine many other Ubiko women were trapped in the dome. That being the case, she could well be the one.
This observatory Kanaloka returned to, could it not be part of the research facility? We might learn something about Teishelja there.
That's where we're going next, then.
All right. But yeah, it's also kind of funny how some of the it's only like a couple of games had this sort of theme going on with past and present. Mainly this with this expansion, or like past and future, and then Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I wish I could see into the past like you, and I could see people who are gone. Because there aren't many other Mamulja women here, for a long time I couldn't even imagine what my mother looked like. But when I visited Tuliyollal and saw some, I was finally able to picture her in my mind. And one day, I hope I can see what she actually looked like as well. Only 11 materia? Damn it. You may now enter Iwayawata Field Station with Party Embassy avatars. Among the Abandoned. How are we doing on ad time? Okay, we're still good. Kryl is eager to begin searching for the research facility. While we've discerned the purpose of the research conducted here, the traces of it that remain might afford us greater insight into what came of it. Let us take a look around for information as well as a way to the upper level. Aw, damn it, I can't mount up in here. God, this is so creepy. What happened to the people here? Did they all leave? Or did we already meet them? I have to say alpha now. To think that people actually volunteered their souls for these experiments. Success was far from guaranteed, and even in the best case, they would cease to be men. Was their devotion to Zoraljah was so absolute? Alright, before we actually go there, let's see what you have to say, Brugraha. I wonder what Bekluk would have made of this research into transferring souls. Oh right, your Numo acquaintance. Researchers likely moved between the upper and lower levels. Perhaps we can find a key among their belongings. It makes me angry to think about what they did here. Yeah, no shit. It won't open, and I don't think it will yield to our shoulders either. We'll have to do it the old-fashioned way and find the key. A lift can be seen behind the wrought iron gate. As sturdy as it appears, the gate will likely resist attempts to force it open. The security panel is nearby. Perhaps a verification will open the way. Yeah, I had the feeling since you could actually walk into these. Mangled corpse. A journal lies next to the body. Researcher's journal. I was transferred to Yawata Station in order to train the villagers in the use of electro technology. While a child can quickly learn to operate common contraptions, it will be no easy thing for them to attain the requisite skills to develop new weapons, ones which require no less than the manipulation of souls. Thankfully, two of my pupils have demonstrated the great aptitude in the field, Kaniloka, the village chief, and Tishalja, a field chirurgeon. Further driven by their loyalty to our king, their growth has been remarkable. I dare to hope that, before long, they will be able to carry out their duties without further instruction, and I may be relieved of my duty. Find nothing that resembles a verification key. Perhaps you should search elsewhere. So Kaniloka was the village chief. Oh, wait a second. S subject's journal, open cabinet. They're recruiting volunteers for a new experiment. I know I'm not as bright as the others, but they wouldn't laugh at me if I was stronger than them. This might be my chance. Test subject's journal. Soul transferred a few days ago. I can write. Can I write good? Yes. Or can write good? Yes. I am good. Very good. Getting hard to control strength. Today bit off hand of feeder. Oh my god! Cannot help it. So strong. Okay, so whatever's happening here is definitely like a graphics issue. Hungry. Always hungry. Cannot control. Eat. I must eat. Am eater. Must eat. Oh, no itchy tasty? Damn. The fuck is happening back here? Alright. Supplies for the staff are neatly arranged within the cabinet. Among the various items is a manual outlining regulations and tranquilizing gas to be used in emergencies. You dig deeper and find a verification key. Perhaps it can be used to open the iron gate. No. Considering what the map is showing, I can't go into there. God, that is so eerie. You found the key. Great, I'll call the others. It seems the key can be used to operate the lift as well. Up we go. So this is the observatory. I didn't expect it to be similar, but this is a far cry from the temple that held Valigarmanda. All the machinery appears to be still in operation. I expect there are auxiliary systems in place to ensure that monitoring can continue even in emergencies. The warnings indicate various anomalies related to the seal's failure. Most likely, for a blessing, we managed to fell the beast before it could cause harm. Right then, let's see if we can find some clues about Gululja's mother. I think I can use this terminal. Shale taught me how. There's no such data. I don't know what we should look at. Perhaps we can narrow down the search by inputting the name Tishalja. Ah, it brought up a lot of results. They all seem to say the same thing. Tishalja, Administrator of Experimental Treatments, Research Logs. This sounds good, doesn't it? Chances are the data is encrypted, and even if not, it will take considerable time to go through it all. Then let us take it with us to the back room and have Shale analyze it. Agreed. Alright, I'll transfer it to this storage device I brought. Kids are getting so smart, Jesus. There, it's finished. Thank you so much for bringing me all the way here, everyone. If you're happy, then so am I. Besides, I was able to learn more about my brother as well. It was a fruitful adventure for the both of us. And here we are. The authorities will doubtless wish to be informed about the facility and its contents. But first things first, let us deliver the data to Shale. Back to the back rooms we go. On the plus side, there was no such thing as TikTok, so he was not brain rotted. got that too, right? I'm so glad I was streaming the fucking T-pose. It wasn't me, it was like another player character. Welcome back. Gululja has already given me the storage device. There looks to be a wealth of data, all of which is encrypted, so I'll need time to process everything. In that case, Alize and I might take ourselves around the city and check on the people. Aye, their mood has us a bit worried. I don't know if there's anything we can do to help, but we'll see. Understood. I'll let you know as soon as I finish my work. Thank you. I'll see you again soon. Ah, yes. So, for those that missed it, because, normally the people of Alexandria here have this machine that's attached to their heads. When someone would die, all their memories are extracted from everyone and sent to the cloud so everyone would pretty much forget them. But now that they're actually dealing with death after all these years, they don't know how to process it. It's like a little kid was saying, so you mean I'll have to remember Queen Sphene, but be sad forever because I can never see her again? Goddess of Hetso. Geode's concern is writ plain upon his face. Alize isn't wrong. The mood out there is still grim. Some of Turali remember a time before they were dependent on the Sol system, but even they're unsettled and wondering aloud if they'll have a chance to reunite with old friends and family before they pass on. With good reason too. The journey home won't be an easy one for those who've grown old. That's why it's mostly been younger folk who've been leaving for Tural, ones with no elders to care for. Word of that problem has reached us in Tuliolal. My brother is doing all he can to see that Zoktural Railroad restored to operation, so that people may come and go more freely. Unfortunately, the tracks only go as far as Vanguard, so some traveling by foot will still be necessary. Even so, the railroad would make things a sight easier. How long before it's back in service? I couldn't say. When I left for this visit, Kona seemed reluctant to make promises. But while Shale's working on the data, we could go and see the state of it for ourselves. To Shaolani Station. I'll make sure to keep Kona informed. Shishinuezi Springs. Why do they make such complicated names? Okay. Oh, we're here to see Magnus? Wawalika, yes. Vow resolve, and sword and ash to boot. What can I do you for? We were hoping for some good news about the railroad. There's an increasing number of people looking to return to Tural that can't make the journey on foot. I see. As it so happens, the Vow of Reason is also on the way here to take stock of the situation. Scratch the on his way. Look at the fussy little bun. Gasp, did our little Bun finally grow out of his clothes? Stop that. As you well know, my previous attire was that of a gleaner, and I have chosen a different path. It was time for a change. You hear about the railroad too? It was in part when my sick of the original Dawnblazer was sacrificed, so I felt it was only right that I assist with its replacement. Speaking of which, I assume Lamati has explained the growing urgency of the need. What have you to report? The new locomotive was on track for completion, but we're having difficulty pulling her into the station in a matter of speaking. You see, when we used the old Dawnblazer to get into the dome, urgency outweighed all other considerations, but now we're back to our original problem. How to run the railroad without upsetting the inhabitants of Mehuetsuan. That is, the Ronik. Though the Hetzaru that follow them are none too pleased about their Hetzo being spooked by the noise of the locomotive either. The solution I've devised to quieten the railroad should address that complaint. But a silent train presents a different danger. The Ronik will need to be deterred from wandering across the tracks. And I suppose we can't just blow the whistle at them, or they'll panic and be pulled off their grazing again. Weren't the railroutes plotted to avoid the Ronik's preferred grazing areas, though? It's odd that they're getting so close in the first place. The Ronik's grazing patterns have shifted since the tracks were laid. I am not certain why, but I intend to ask the people of Mehuatson for their insight. As a major proponent of the railroad, I have a duty to assist this matter, and I would too hear what the Hetzaru have to say about it. They are the ones most affected, after all. I believe it would be best to begin by consulting their leader, Huato. The rest of you can accompany us to the Hetzaru encampment if you like. How things work is already placed on that, too. I'm guessing that's a Destiny thing. Hello, Huato. Vow a resolve, vow a reason. I bid you welcome to our camp. But what brings you all the way to Mehuatson? I thank you for seeing us. Our visit concerns the matter of Zaktural Railroad. You two have noted the Ronik's unexpected change of behavior, then. My son, Shepeto, has been looking into this matter. Shepeto? Normally, we'd expect the Ronik to keep their favored grounds nearby for a while yet. And despite a thorough search, we haven't found anything wrong with the quantity or quality of the grazing in Piarionan and Yatanane. Yet they refuse to keep where they usually would, instead pushing westward toward your railroad. I certainly see no cause for this unseasonal migration. Nevertheless, should they continue to move west, we will follow. As any true Hetzaru would, I suppose. As you may have surmised, I am of Hetzaru descent. My parents traveled with Ronik as well, though I myself have no memory of the experience. I was left behind as a babe, you see, during such a migration. One of many sacrifices necessitated by a nomadic lifestyle, I am forced to assume. A chance encounter with a kind Pelu merchant was the only reason I survived. Taking pity on me, he taught me his trade that I might fend for myself. I became a stall keeper in Tulioal's markets, and that's where the Dawn Servant found and adopted me. I had already been in the palace for some time when Lamati came to join us. Like me, she had been cast aside by her parents. I knew the pain of solitude and wanted to spare her that suffering. Although it wasn't necessarily voluntarily cast aside. As this tiny child's new brother, I swore I would always be there for her. Truly, I have never heard of the Ronik choosing a path so arduous as to force such a terrible decision, nor of any Hetsara willingly leave their own flesh and blood behind. There must have been some exceptional circumstance. I cannot say. The idea of following in their footsteps that I might better make excuses for their actions never appealed to me. Even if it might help you better understand the Ronik's current behavior? As it is so often the case, you are correct. Though my discomfort with the Hetsara may arise from fear of reopening old wounds rather than blind fervor for innovation, it would nevertheless see me repeat past mistakes. And I refuse to learn one of our country's treasured traditions to make me a poor dawn servant indeed. Please, teach me of the Ronik and what they mean to you. I promise to listen with an open mind. We would be delighted. In the meantime, your companions are welcome to look around. Will you learn of Hetsara culture with me? I should like to approach this with fervent curiosity that you and my sister share, but it would be useful to know whether I am, doing it correctly. Then it's settled. You'll learn more of the Ronik, and we'll have a look around the plains, and perhaps in the process we'll find the answers we seek. Maybe we can then save the light bulbs. The quickest way to learn about our way of life is do as we do. I hope you're not above manual labor. I'm not the most experienced, I'm ashamed to admit, but I shall put forth every effort. That's all we ask. Take these tools. What the fuck is that minion? Mischief Maker? Now, introduce yourself to anyone who looks busy and ask if you can help. They'll be happy to teach you what to do in exchange for another pair of hands to do it. Let us meet back here later and share what we've learned. Oh my god. Playful Hetsara. You're learning about the Hetsara way of life, are you? I may have a thing or two to share, but rather than talking your ear off, let me test your powers of deduction. I find answers much easier to recall later if I arrive at them myself. Ahem. Our Hetza provide us with something that we use in medicines. Poultices and soap to drive away pests, and to sustain our fires. What is it? Provide us something in medicines, poultices, and soap to drive away pests. Bones? Hoops? Are hoops bones? To drive away pests. It's definitely not the second one. Bones? Hoops? Are hoops bones? Both horns and hooves have core bone, and we use all of these materials, albeit primarily in tent poles, instruments, and the like. It's not quite the answer I was looking for. Fuck. Is it dung again? It sounds like there's a story there, but that is indeed the correct answer. Oh my god, it was right. Fuck. We discovered myriad uses of Ronik chips over time, each a boon in our way of life. Where there is need, our Hetzo always provide. Ew. You use it in the soaps? Doubled Hetzo. This won't do. The wind will go right through it, and me without my needle and sinew. Mending kit. A box containing bone needles, sinew, scraps of hide, and other helpful mending accoutrements? I have never run into that word. Oh, these are precisely what I needed. I should be able to patch up the covering now. Given how often we pack up and reassemble our tents, they're bound to get the occasional tear. Fortunately, the Ronic hide they're made is durable enough that we generally needn't worry. Oop. Pocket of its sorrow. I'm afraid I finished my task for the time being, but since you're so eager to learn about our way of life, why don't I tell you a bit about our migration customs? If you're here, you likely already know that the Ronic are Hetzo, our guides, that we travel with through the turning of the seasons. We trust them to lead us to fertile lands and with all we need to survive. But what you may not know that sometimes the herd splits into two, bound for different paths. On those occasions, we Hitsaro must also part with half of our number. You may think it strange and a stressful custom, but over the years it has seen us visit new lands and broaden our horizons of people. This too is the wisdom of the Hetzo. Finally, ruffled Ronic. As you stroke the Ronic coat, you notice that portions are shaggy and tangled. This one's fur is a bit overgrown, but a good brushing should thin it out. Would you like to give it a try? You need the right tool for the job, mind you. A comb of the type you're used to would just get lost in a tangle as not. A sturdy brush suitable for grooming even the fluffiest of Ronic. Ah, Shepetto sent a Ronic brush with you, did he? I like him. Now, just run it through one little patch at a time, gently. You dutifully brush the Ronic until your arms grow weary from the prolonged battle with its coat. It appears much tidier now, though the same cannot be said for your clothes, which have acquired a new coat of their own. Well done! With less excess fur, our friend here will be more comfortable with the afternoon heat, and less susceptible to illness. A combed coat also makes it easier for us to identify injuries, should the need arise. Hello, Mr. Kittles. You smell of the grass and the wind, which is a good thing, I promise. You could nearly be mistaken for one of us, if a bit on the furry side. I have yet to wonder how Valkona is getting on. I assume he would be reluctant to get his hands dirty, but it seems his wish to understand us was sincere. Yes, you're a meow. Ah, there he is now. The eyes are so creepy. Apologies for my tardiness. I was tasked with grazing the Ronic and ended up rather far afield. I found myself wandering hither and thither at my companion's inclination. To force us back to the trail, it seemed inappropriate. But how is your own work? Have you anything to share? Its our life revolves around the Ronic. Yes, I feel the truth of this myself. While I was hesitant to leave my fate to the whims of the Hetzo rather than tread man-made paths, I arrived where I was meant to be all the same. Mine is not the only way, though at times I lack the experience to know otherwise. My inability to conceive how a decision might be right does not mean that is wrong. My parents had a duty to the Ronic, as they did to me, and so I wonder if their leaving me behind was not so selfish an act as I once believed. I have no way to know, of course, and regardless, this has no bearing on our present concerns. We are here in service to the people of Tural, after all. Nevertheless, I thank you for helping me find deeper meaning in what we've done today. And I will endeavor to remain curious, especially where the Hetzo are concerned. I'm glad to hear that, Valkona. You're welcome among our herd anytime. Part of me actually kind of wishes if, it would actually be very immersive if, like, at some point, these guys do move. Obviously, I very much doubt it will. They will. But that would be kind of immersive. The warmth of family. Kona appears loath to part from his Roni companion. Aw, made a friend. God, the eyes are so creepy. Kona, how did it go? I believe I finally understand the significance of the Hetzo. They nourish the Hetzaru as they grow, and provide warmth and companionship in a harsh and unpredictable world. They are the equal of any man, not the beasts to be tamed. Moreover, Ronik are sensitive. Though we may treat their injuries or brush their coats to keep them hale, they must ever be free to follow their instincts and seek lands where they might thrive. The Hetzaru would never cage them, and neither should we. To control their migratory patterns or capture those who wander too close to the tracks is out of the question. Then it is particularly important to advance our original line of inquiry. Fortunately, we were able to visit Ronik's once favored grazing grounds. As we were told, the grass looks fine, but the place is too quiet. It's not just the Ronik, even the birds and field mice have fled. We did encounter one pack of Ceratoraptors, but they looked to be passing through in a hurry. Typically, that sort of behavior in the fauna would be associated with natural disasters. Oh. Did I happen to disconnect? Sorry, it's just like I just suddenly got the welcome to the chat room. Hope nothing bad happened. Typically, this sort of behavior of the fauna would be associated with natural disasters. Earthquakes, landslides, and the like. Though the Hetzaru would surely have put two and two together were the cause geological. I measured the area's aether to be certain. There was indeed nothing to suggest recent environmental disruption, but I did notice one anomaly. A strong etheric signature to the east, moving across the plain, albeit slowly. What do you think, Kona? Given where we are, I believe we're dealing with a powerful beast. A predator, perhaps, given the local fauna's behavior. One of the raptors we saw looked like it had a bite taken out of its tail by something with very large fangs. Ooh. It couldn't be. A Turuhetso. Turuhetso? The Ronik Weaver. In its common tongue, our people have several names for such creatures. Fangs that steal Hetso in the night is another evocative one. Ronik can fend off many predators with their horns, but not the Turuhetso. Their scales are tough as adamant, and neither horn nor arrow can pierce them. A well-toothed carnivore with an unusually tough hide. I cannot recall any such fauna in this region. They usually roam the wilds in the northeast, and most herds keep well clear of them. Can't tell you why this one is so far from home and has packed both. In any case, I believe the source of the Ronik's consternation is clear. As is our next move, we must drive this reaver away, that they might return to their grazing lands in peace. Never fear. We will make certain that the beast threatens you no more. this be a trial? Excuse me. The Runic Reaver is a clear threat to the local population. We cannot allow it to roam unchecked. But it won't do us running off in search of it without having made proper preparations. And if others returning from across the plain have spotted it, then it may be able to inform us of its recent behavior and where it might be found. Your progress through the upcoming battle will be saved at certain points. In the event you are defeated, you'll be able to try again the most recent of these. Please note that you enter battles associated with other quests or log out from the game, thus progress will be lost. Okay. Here we go.
Hetsu is coming this way! It has beasts across the plains in a panic, and our Ronek are practically paralyzed with fear. We must get them to safety!
No elk.
We can assist by helping to calm the creatures. Once they're less agitated, it should be possible to hurt them.
And after they're out of harm's way, we'll deal with the Runic Reaver.
I suggest you remain here to attend to the Ronek when they arrive.
They'll be safe with me. Please, be careful out there.
All right.
Make haste! We must protect the Ronek!
Don't worry, we're right behind you.
There they are!
They're terrified. We must do what we can to soothe them.
Aww. Pet.
That herd should be all right. Let's look for stragglers. The Ronek are to rally too. None shall be left behind. There must be something up ahead. Come! There!
These are no match for the likes of us.
In a panic was clearly an understatement. More are coming!
my lord.
All or nothing, then.
Nice.
It seems that did the trick.
For the fodder, at least. But where's...
Meow. Oh my god, kitty. What? Oh! What the hell?
Look there! We've got a big one coming!
Impenetrable scales and wicked fangs. That's a Ronak Reaver, and no mistake.
There! That one there!
Pew, pew.
Not so fast!
Not the glasses.
Even should it cost me my life. I will save the head soul!
Kona! Are you alright?
Do not concern yourself with me. Get the Ronek to safety!
There.
Oh my god, Erinville with the with the little robot charm from Solution 9.
Right! Let's finish the job!
I made a vow to our people. You shall plague them no longer!
Jesus.
You'll find the vow of reason is not without resolve.
We are barely chipping it. Oh my god.
Not even a scratch!
Buy me some time to think, will you? It must have a weakness, and I will find it. need time!
Right. Both many legs.
What the hell?
Now we just have to keep it pinned. The thinking corner!
A protective current of ether. But whence does it flow?
The tail?
I've got it!
Oh, fuck!
One well-placed piercing round to the chest and...
Oh my god.
You're done for! That stemmed the flow of protective ether.
There's nothing stopping us now! Still not backing down, huh? Fine with me!
Oh.
must disperse that ether ere the Reaver recovers it!
This is going to hurt.
There we go. Whew.
We did it. The Etso, are they?
The Ronek have all made it to Mehua Hetsuan. Hunters are scouring the area for any remaining threats, but the local fauna appear to have calmed down.
We cannot thank you enough for your timely aid. You, most of all, Bow of Reason. We feared you would be loath to take direct action, yet you didn't hesitate to put your life on the line for our Hetso.
I did no more than is a Dawn servant's duty. The ethereal conductivity of those scales is astounding. I dare say we could repurpose them to create a device that emits controlled pulses of ether.
Ether resembling that of the predator the Ronek fear most. It might work. If we struck the right balance, we would have the means to deter the Ronek from approaching the railroad without causing them undue distress.
Incredible! Kona, you've done it again.
I must say, I was hoping I'd never have to see one of these again. Still haven't forgotten the last one. And it's been more than 20 years now. I had come as a trader to the camp in Lozeni Hetta. A camp that was obliterated in an instant by that monster.
Lozeni Hetta. That's where the Pelu Pelu trader found me as a babe. Please, can you tell me what you saw?
As I said, I had traveled there to trade with our fellow Hetzaro. Like us, they followed the Ronek. And like us, they were visited by a Reaver. The fiend struck like a whirlwind in the night. It was chaos. I grabbed some token belongings and bolted in a panic, thinking only of getting as far away as possible. But even in my panicked state, I could not help but notice the young couple racing the other way, toward the fell creature. "We're distracted," I heard one cry. "Save our son! Save the Hetso!" After that, nothing but the pounding of my heart and feet and Ronek thunder. I ran and ran, and as the sun broke the horizon, I found myself separated from both man and beast. Windborne words say that a group of survivors reunited with their remaining Ronek and have long since moved on. but still more were never seen again, including the brave couple. Or so the story goes.
And what became of their child?
I'm afraid I don't know. But if he wasn't with the survivors, even if he lived through that night, the wilderness wouldn't have been kind to a little one out on his lonesome.
Maybe not. But perhaps a passing Pelu would. And one day, even a Dawn servant himself. All these years, I was convinced that my parents had left me behind to follow after the Ronek. But now I see, they didn't abandon me. They were trying to keep me safe. I've wasted so much time resenting them, when in truth, they gave me everything I have today. It is thanks to them that I live to know the warmth of family, even after they were gone. And now that I am Dawn servant, all of Tuliyola is my family. A family I will always protect, as my parents protected me.
Aw. Kinda nice how that story went full circle. Who do I talk to? Going out, load in, please, thank you. To know that the Hetzaru are safe is more than enough, yet it would be wrong to hope that in protecting them, I also avenged my parents. It is the least I owe them after all this time. Soren, I thank you for standing by me, as Dawn servant, and as the oft imperfect man beneath that mantle. Now let us return our attentions to the matter we came here to address, shall we? We have removed the root cause of the Ronik staying for their favored grazing, and obtained the tools to devise an additional precautionary measurement. A silent whistle, as it were. This whistle must be capable of emitting pulses of aether strong enough that they will shy away from the tracks on instinct, yet not so strong enough as to drive them in panic. If we can achieve this, it will be far sight better than the traditional whistle. More effective and less stressful for the creatures themselves. Let us return to Shaloni Station and begin work on it. Then, Waldika and his crew will doubtless be relieved to finally have a solution. You look pleased about something. Good news for the railroad, I take it. So, the Ronik were avoiding a predator. Smart ones they are. And Valkona's not too bad himself, what with his whistle idea. Sit tight and we'll have this train on the tracks before you know it. Sit tight? No.
We're ready to go.
looks as good as new.
If I had time to do a proper job, could have really made her shine. Had to cobble together the exterior with spare parts. We refurbished the interior, though. Not that you can appreciate it from out here. But as far as the Ronek are concerned, we've spared no effort. From the ballast to the ties, we've adjusted every bit of the track so she'll run quiet as a field mouse.
You and your crew have worked wonders. Our nation is in your debt.
Come now. If anything, credit's due to Tuliolal. It's thanks to the folk you recruited from every corner of the continent that we were able to get her up and running so quickly. Besides, the ethereal whistle's the true marvel, and we wouldn't have that without the scales you brought us. However grateful you are, know that we're even more thankful.
Yeah, woohoo!
Right. If we're done talking, let's put this train through her paces.
Damn it, you Ronik!
There's a Ronek up ahead.
Now, to test our whistle.
On it. Just point it in the general direction and...
It's moving away. Meanwhile, our friends over there appear wholly unperturbed.
Huzzah, it works!
With this, we can alert those who wander too close without disturbing the rest of the herd.
A roaring success! In a quiet way, like. Then with your permission, Vow of Reason, the Shaktaral Railroad is back in service.
Yay! For a while there, we were real worried that we'd never get that railroad running again. But now that the test drive was such a success, we can breathe easy and start hauling people to and from the dome. First Shalani, and then the continent. Watch out, Zaktural, here we come. I share the sentiment, but we've got a mountain of work ahead of us to ensure smooth operations. Time to get back to it. The efforts of all here today have not gone unnoticed. Once more, I thank you. As for our own work, I trust you can handle matters in Alexandria, Lamati. Crossroads. Already done, damn. Never one to stand still. Wu Klamat is already ready to race back to Alexandria. Well, it's possible that Shale's made some headway by now, and regardless, we should spread word that the railroad's been restored to service. Shale? What have you got her working on? Ululja's mother. I'd feel the same in his shoes. Have felt the same. Some questions are painful to leave unanswered. There's no cause to look at me like that. The Kakichwa we met may have only been a simulacrum, but her memory was real. I needn't search for what she left behind, because she left it with me, and I will carry it always. Speaking of things you're carrying, is that a teeny tiny Kakikua? What? No! It is merely a token from Alexandria. Our friends in Oblivion would not take no for an answer, and I thought it was a good souvenir as any. Whatever you say. For what it's worth, I think it's a nice way to bring her with you on your travels. Yes, well, you're off to the Dome now, aren't you? I thought I might join you for a time. See if there's aught I can do for the people there. Much change though it is, I still consider it my home. Of course, we can give you the full story on the way. Wait, we're walking all the way over there? A simple yet elegant solution, and thus is the railroad back in operation. Meanwhile, Shale's nearly finished processing the data. She was able to share her findings with us imminently. I'm interrupting something, I gather? Why, Ishtola, what brings you here? I've seen enough of the gates in the Skydeep cenote for now, so I'm shifting my investigation to living memory. While there, I thought I would do well as to have the company of an expert on electrope. I'd like to take a closer look at the place myself. I can join you once we're finished here. Lest you fear I've forgotten, once I've made headway with living memory, the key in your keeping shall be the next subject of my scrutiny.
There was a mountain of data to sift through, much of it tantalizing, I admit. But it will take time to fully decrypt everything that piques my interest, so To answer our immediate question, I've been concentrating my efforts on the audio saved by Teishuja herself. While I've not listened to it yet, I have a selection ready for playback. Would you like to hear it now?
Yes, please.
All right. Several audio files will now play in sequence.
My name is Teishuja, and I decided to record this to help me put my thoughts in order, I suppose. Mother? Officially I was a Chirurgeon with the Lance Guard. I was part of a contingent dispatched to Yasulani to hunt a Tural Vidral that was wreaking havoc. After our mission was complete, I elected to remain. It was the perfect opportunity to document the geographic distribution of medicinal herbs in this region. Or so I said when requesting special dispensation. In truth, I could not bear to return to Tuliolal. I had hoped to aid Commander Zoralja in the right of succession, but he did not so much as look my way. I was never in contention, of course, one of the nameless many in his army. To go back and face that reality was too much for me, so I ran, and in my cowardice, I stumbled upon this path. A path that changed my life. When the dome appeared, I found myself trapped within, and reunited with my commander. How am I to speak of Commander Zoralja? I admired him. His incontestable strength, his unwavering focus. He was a man of great passions. I watched him, captivated by his intensity. From afar, I would not dare approach. And in watching, I came to know him. His eyes too sought the distance, but not as mine did. He yearned not for another, but something else, beyond the horizon. That gaze would never fall upon me. I knew. The experiment will soon proceed to its next phase, and when it does, as he promised, I will have my heart's desire. Today. It should have been today. A new beginning. What I have dreamed of for so long. I hold a future in my arms. If he could see him, embrace him, surely that would be enough. So full of hope I was. A foolish hope.
Its scales are blue.
He's your son.
My... No, I can't. I don't know how. How could I? How? To raise a child, be a father. I don't. I can't. No! No! Get it away from me! Get that thing away from me!
It's all right, little one. Papa was just surprised. That's all. He'll come around. We'll be a happy family. Can you look at shouting for me? The research hasn't been going well, but I can't let him take it out on my baby. Hush now, little one. I know just where to hide you.
That's all of them.
God.
He was abandoned, the poor dear. We found him in the drift downs a few years ago.
We know some manner of accident happened at the facility after this was recorded. Perhaps your mother couldn't come back for you.
Hey, Gololcha.
I'm fine, Lamachi. Father and mother, they were both so lonely. If we could have been together, maybe they wouldn't have been. But sometimes things don't work out, no matter how hard you try. I can't tell if I'm happier now. But it's better to know, I think. Thank you, everyone.
God, that was heavy, to say the least. It's better to know. A profound response for one so young. Though I wish he didn't have to be. Gololcha is indeed wise beyond his years. Yet one never outgrows the need for dependable companions. It's fortunate that he has you. Thank you. Thank you, Shale. Because of you, I got to hear my mother's whole story. You heard it because you were brave enough to listen, Gololcha. If you remember one thing, remember that. Now then, having shared what I can at present, I'm ready to head to the living memory when you are. I am planning to be thorough, so we will need to stop for supplies along the way. That said, I promise we won't remain over long. I know we all have much and more to attend to. For now, farewell. A word before you leave. Our network's already spreading word of the railroad. We expected people would be clamoring to get on the first train back. Yet the reaction's been the polar opposite. Scant few seem inclined to depart Alexandria anytime soon. What? When we spoke before, you said many from Tuliyola were eager to reunite with friends and family. Maybe they're concerned about getting through Vanguard. If so, we could take turns accompanying them. In any case, we need to speak with people ourselves. Let's start at Lay Node 9. Lay Node 9, huh? Ah. Oh, this way. Good lord. There may still be people gathering in Praxis Park. Let's try there first.
People look uneasy. Did something happen?
Have you heard? Someone was killed in the Thunder Yards.
The Thunder Yards was one of the hunters slain by a beast.
It was a hunter, all right, and a veteran at that. But it was no fiend that did him in. Only a random bolt of lightning.
Such a senseless way to die. They say that he expended his last soul cells during Zoraljar's attack on the city.
For an upright, hard-working man to meet such an unceremonious end, it feels wrong.
But we'll be fine, won't we? Even if the system no longer erases our memory of the departed, the regulators continue to function. I shan't go before my time. Growing old and passing peacefully with the help of the ushers is only natural.
Well, you may think so, but how are we to know? We have no memory of those who have gone. More may have met violent deaths than passed from old age, and we would be blissfully unaware. It could happen to you, or me, to any of us.
Then what are we to do? Spend every waking moment thinking only of how we might die?
With time, I had hoped that they'd be able to adjust to their new situation. But it's only gotten worse.
Look! It's Queen Sphene!
What?
What?
Help, Queen Sphene! The grown-ups are really upset, and I don't know what to do!
I see that you are as kind-hearted as ever, Nico. Never fear. I'm here to set things right.
I don't understand. Sphene is gone. Forever. You there, Gusson. You were the Queen's aide, weren't you? What's the meaning of this?
Begging your pardon, Vow of Resolve. But Her Majesty Queen Sphene is paying visit to her people, as is her wont.
What are you talking about? Sphene is dead. You officiated the funeral yourself. We all placed flowers to mourn her passing.
A funeral? For Her Majesty? What a curious jest. You know full well that ceremony was to commemorate those lives lost during the attack of Alexandria. Her Majesty walks among her people that she might support them in this most trying of times. Surely
oh,
that
this is all
not cause for
creepy.
consternation.
Your Majesty, won't you free us from these terrible memories of the departed? This is no way to live, not for us, nor our children.
I wish that I could. Truly I do. But with living memory shut down, even I cannot restore the system that once afforded us that comfort. You needn't fret, however. I have prepared an alternate solution. All of us shall be made endless. I have created a new system that allows you to transplant your memories directly into an ethereal vessel. One not reliant upon soul cells. This way, you need never again fear death. You may live as you please, and for as long as you like. Our stores of ether are, at present, not sufficient to provide this boon to everyone. But some of you received Neo-Regulators for the funeral ceremony, did you not? And there are still more we have yet to distribute. 5,000 in all. One day soon, those with Neo-Regulators will be called to join the Endless, and thence be free of suffering forevermore.
But only 5,000 of us?
You Victral! The real Sphene would never be content to save only some of her people. Who are you?
I am Sphene, the Queen of Reason.
No, this is not right.
Let's return to the back room. I need to calm down, and then we'll talk.
God, that is actually disturbing. We only caught the proclamation from a distance, but I can tell you that the message about the Neo-Regulators was received with utmost clarity. It couldn't have been Sveen. She should have been destroyed when the Meso terminal shut down. Without a single Alexandrian to bear witness, presented with an identical figure claiming to be their beloved queen, 'tis no surprise that they would choose to believe she's alive. What is troubling, however, is their denial that the funeral was held in her honor. 'Tis as if their memories had been erased. Given that the members of Oblivion remain unaffected, that was likely the work of the Regulators, but by whose design? Someone smart enough to play at being Queen of the Reason. In that guise, even if some suspect deception, most of Alexandria will be on our side. We need to find out who she really is. While I agree wholeheartedly we should avoid drawing more attention than we already have. We must be patient until Oblivion's network turns up a lead, or until our self-proclaimed queen makes her next move. Meanwhile, in living memory.
Oh, where am I? My people? Are they safe? Why am I...
In fear of death, the people turn to Queen Reborn, their fates to learn. Oh, I have chills.